As it's not the first time that we are seeing such events happening, the sea is continuing to claim lives. Very many lives are being lost on the sea waters. It's not the first time to see such tragedies happening all over the globe. But in the recent history, the tragedy, the ocean tragedy that claimed thousands of lives, close to 1,500 lives, that was in 1912, and that popular tragedy for almost a century, it is still making news. Very many movies have been staged, like to try and bring the picture to those who were not who did get a chance or have not got a chance to read the books, but at least they have tried to put the picture forward to be seen, and that is the famous Titanic tragedy, where the ship was almost having close to 3,000 passengers on board. They were almost half of them were lost. It is estimated that only about 700 individuals were rescued from that Titanic boat, and really it went in the books of history as one of the incidences or the cruise events that has claimed lots of lives. Now, coming forward to the most recent tragic event, the one of the Titanic or the Titan submersible or the Titan submarine. We have seen stories going around on the internet. People have talked much about it, but I didn't come out to make a video on this for some reasons, that it was full of mysteries. We didn't have the moment the first time I landed on this news, it touched me so much that I didn't have even what to say. I didn't want to comment about it because it was full of speculations. No one knew whether the submersible, this sub, reached the bottom. Yes, there was news for its disappearance. The news was there, but you couldn't tell whether they are survivors or these people are dead, or it was just speculations. Not until after almost a week of search and rescue missions taking place and getting back the parts of the wreckage of the submersible that confirmed that really these people perished in this sub, and there is nothing else to talk about now. They are gone. These 5 lives are gone. Yes, in case you are new here, this is Seka 971, our news channel, and now we are going to discuss about the Titan submersible or the Titan submarine. For your information, if you don't know much about this Titan submersible, this submarine was built by a company called Ocean Gate, and the Titan Ocean Gate as a company, it was spearheaded by its CEO, Stockton Rush. Yes, Mr. Rush, this has been, he was a famous explorer. He was an engineer by profession. He studied he was a qualified aerospace engineer, and actually he designed he designed his own jets. So this was someone who was qualified. He had read his books with all the vast experience. So to someone who can even design a plane or a jet on his own, so don't underestimate such a person. He's a person, or he was a person of vast experience and knowledge. You know, he had knowledge and experience. He had enough experience and knowledge, so he knew whatever he was doing. But you know, when it comes to innovation, at times here and there things can go wrong, and he was an aerospace engineer, but he stretched it further, to go to even to the waters. You know, he left aerospace, you know, and then he ventured in the marine environment. So all in the sense of exploration. So that was Mr. Rush, the CEO of Ocean Gates Expeditions. It is said that Ocean Gate as a company, the company is in the United States, and this is where this Titan submersible was assembled. So Mr. Rush, this is where he has his company, his warehouse. So each and everything has been assembled in the United States. But the launch of this expedition, this travel, this exploration route was launched in Canada this time around. And you remember Mr. Rush, as the CEO, he started these adventurous journeys in 2012. This is when he started. This is when he started his innovation, and this is when I think he got the idea. So, and this was not the first time he's taking this Titan to the waters, the deep waters of the Atlantic Ocean. So various people, and there are some videos going around where some people have gone with the Titan, and they have explored the bottom of the sea. Actually, they have taken chance to film the boat wreckage of the Titanic, have come to talk about such. You know, they've given their side of the story. So it was not the first time, it was not the second, it was almost a dozen, more than 10 times this Titan submersible has been used to explore the deep waters of the Atlantic Ocean. But on this fateful day, it was when now five explorers, including the CEO, Stockton Rush, they took time to go for this adventurous journey to the Titanic wreckage, deep, close to 3,000 feet deep in the Atlantic Ocean, and things have not or didn't go well. From some of the interviews, Mr. Rush was interviewed like to answer a few questions about the integrity, the structural integrity, the safety details, the equipment used, the technology, like the Titan submersible details. And he was very excited talking about these details. And whenever he was a bit criticized about some of the irregularities which were noticed on the construction mode of the hull, that cylindrical shape and capsule called the hull of the submersible. So he was quick to defend himself, and he said that this is more of an experimental thing, but not until that the shape and the materials he used they stood chance. Like they needed whatever he did, his construction, his way of constructing this submersible, like he needed chance to prove himself, like whatever mode of construction he used, because from the basics of construction of these submersibles, you will see that mostly these submersibles are built in a spherical shape. Reason being that from the physics perspective, that because these are submersibles, they are going deep into the waters, whatever item or an object, if it goes into water, water will exert pressure to it from different directions, and basing on that, the best shape to reduce pressure and to get uneven distribution of pressure, that shape, the best shape to handle pressure is a spherical shape. But remember, when you look at that image of the submersible, it is in form of a cylinder, it is cylindrical. And from the knowledgeable guys, the professors in marine physics and whatever, they are saying that once you use such a shape to construct a submersible like that, which is even having more space inside, which can accommodate up to 5 people, it's about 6 meters long, just imagine. So it means that if pressure is exerted on the different ends of it, as in along the length, it means that the middle part of this object, of this submarine, will get 10 tension, will get tension from these pressures being exerted at the edges. So in so doing, you will find that at the end of the day, minor cracks, even if they are at a cellular level, will start to develop. So, and after this submersible is being used for a certain number of times, these weakening points will start developing until it will develop into a crack. So those are some of the observations that were made by some of these professors in marine engineers who are concerned or who are knowledgeable about the construction of such submarines and so on. So it was more to him, Mr. Rush, the CEO, who has also perished in this tragedy. To him, he combined two things. He combined the business perspective of it, and also he was doing an experiment of which he was very certain that it will work out, because he's quoted saying in one of the interviews, he said he had to escape. He had not to follow some of the rules in order for his project or his ideas to be put to practice. So meaning that the submersible, this Titan submersible, which led to loss of 4 lives. In terms of certifications, there are very many certifications it never got. Reason being, maybe this guy was a rich person who found his way out or his way around the law, and whatever he constructed was not certified. It was not cleared by different regulations or regulatory bodies. So I think in that sense, there are some bodies who are going to be also be blamed, because if something is just for experimental purpose, even if it blows on its own, you will lose whatever investment you put in. But in this case, we are talking about lives. You are putting lives on board. You are putting citizens. You get the point. And to me, it was more of a trust thing. This was a billionaire, he was a wealthy man, and maybe he got a way of convincing his fellow rich men. I think it was more of a believe in me thing that Mr. Rush, he had even to convince. I think it was more of belief for these people to join this to go on this journey with him. It was more of believe in me. These were wealthy people who had numerous adventure options they could take apart from taking such a risk. Those who put down the offer he had given them, they woke up lucky people not to have perished on that submarine, and those who were courageous enough and believed in this billionaire or millionaire, whatever it is. So they went that way. So there is Shahzad, a son to a Pakistani billionaire, Sulaiman Dawood, and his son. They perished in that submarine. And Shahzad, this I think he was 19 years old only. He went on that expedition because of his father, and it is said that even actually his seat was made for his mother, but the mother sacrificed and said, okay, let my son go instead of me going, let my son go. And all he did it because of his father. He went on that journey. That is Shahzad and Sulaiman Dawood. These were Pakistani Americans. Then there is also a British billionaire, and the names Hamish Harding, a British billionaire, was also one of those people who perished on this tragic incident. Hamish Harding, who was a British billionaire, and then there was also a French former French explorer. He was also known as Paul Najolet, and he had vast experience about these expeditions to the Titanic. So he had vast experience in sea exploration, plus the CEO himself, Stockton Rush. They all perished on this journey to the Titanic. Now, whatever happened. They continued the search for almost a week until when they discovered the pieces of the Titan sub, deep on the sea floor. They discovered it, pieces. So what is there in common between this ill-fated Titan submersible and the Titanic itself, the one they had gone to explore? What is the similarities? The similarities, there is a similarity between the two pilots, the people who were in charge of both the ships. For the Titanic, when you read the story of the Titanic itself, it is said, quote me well, it is said that the captain of that ship was informed by someone who was responsible for the lookout, for the outside view. Someone was there on the Titanic in 1912. There was someone who was responsible to see like in spotting the icebergs and whatever, the rocks, name it. The captain was informed as something similar to an iceberg was viewed, and even the person who spotted the iceberg told him that he was smelling ice. He was smelling ice in the air. He was informed, but reluctantly the pilot turned down the advice. You get, he kept a deaf ear. This is the similarity, and this is the similarity. This in the same case. On several occasions, Mr. Rush, he was warned, he was questioned about the structural integrity of the ship he designed to ferry people to the deep waters of the ocean, and really he didn't listen. He just spoke confidently about the structural anomalies, you know, the shape of the ship he designed, the materials he used in its construction. Because basically, when they are creating such vessels which are going to be experiencing huge tons of pressure, you know, they use titanium as a metal. But for him, I think he wanted to cut costs. He used carbon fiber and some glass window, from the front side. He used titanium. Instead of using titanium as a whole, he used part of it, and then he used carbon fiber. And according to physicians, they will tell you that once you use different objects, different materials, and you connect them together, they have different way of how they will react to external pressures, to change over temperatures, So meaning that if you are building something with two different materials having different temperature capabilities, developing cracks is very, very easy, because these are two different materials. They will bend differently, they will react differently to different pressures and temperatures. So this is what Mr. Rush did, and he was confidently supporting his ideas, and he was not ready to listen to anyone. As he said, that some of the regulations are just there to hinder innovation. You get. So that is the similarity. Like the inventor or the pilot of the Titan submersible behaved similar to the pilot of the famous Titanic, who was informed earlier before that he was heading to an iceberg, and he never responded. You get the point. So basically, that is it. That is it. So it is very, very sad see how these people perished. But very many people are saying that whatever happened was 100% and was 100% avoidable if only the CEO could follow the regulations, safety regulations. If some regulatory bodies could inspect his ship and they will offer alternatives, at least such lives wouldn't have been lost. But because he took it in his own hands, and he was quoted also saying that he wanted to be remembered as someone who took the risk to do the unknown, to do the unknown. And right now, history has been written that Mr. Rush, he designed his own ship in his own way, he followed his own rules, and the only thing what happened was for him to perish in his own vessel and 4 other lives. Second 971 is our YouTube channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more of different uploads we shall be putting for you for further discussions. I sign out for now. Bye.